guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be my August reset video, and in this video I'm going to be going over my July goals, making August goals, going over my July budget, making my August budget, and then I'm going to do my July reading book wrap up, and then I'll be doing a little bit of cleaning, and I'm going to be showing you guys how I plan and get organized for the month. So if you're interested, then just keep watching. Okay, so I want to go ahead and go through my July goals, which I have right here, and then I'll put them on the screen so you can see them a little bit bigger. But the first category is personal. So I had on here that I wanted to read 3 books, and I think I read like 6 or 7. I'm not quite sure. So I surpassed that goal, and then that also got me to my reading goal for the year. I had a reading goal of 30 books, and I have definitely surpassed that, which is cool and awesome. So now I'm curious because I've already read 30. I want to say the total is like 32 by now. So since it's only July, I'm curious what that's going to be what that's going to look like at the end of the year. It might be kind of fun to try and see if I can hit 50, but we'll see. And then I have Celebrate Anniversary, which we did. We went to Galveston for the weekend, and that was so much fun. Watch Fireworks, we did that. Finish the Bathroom, we did that. I have a whole video on that, so go watch it. And then Have a Family Barbecue. We didn't get around to doing that, but we will have that next month. My mom is actually moving out of her house, so we're having like a final pool party barbecue, so we'll be doing that next month. And then the next category is health and wellness. So work on moving body I did, meal prep I did, wake up before 7 during the week. I have not been doing that. I have this past week, but not consistently enough to mark it off. And then a simple morning routine. I haven't really stuck with anything. I haven't found a morning routine that like really sticks. I have like the basics things that I do, which is what I did in my video, but every morning is still a little bit different. The next category is financial. So I put pay off hospital, which we did, and that's awesome. Update savings goals, we did. Stick to grocery budget, we did. And then stick to eat out budget. This is the one we didn't stick to, and I know partly it's because we were out of town at the beginning of the month and we were eating out then, and then we've been kind of saying yes to more family gatherings and friend dinners, so that's why that's a little bit higher. And then for work, I have Get a Good Review. So the day I'm filming this is July 30th, so I think my review will probably be on Monday, so not on Monday, sorry, on the 1st. So I think my review will actually be on the 1st or the 2nd maybe. So I'm not able to check that off yet, but I did talk to my manager and she said I'm gonna get a good review, but I just don't want to include that yet. And then I have post 9 videos, so this will be my 9th video. Make new study schedule. I have not done that yet. I am gonna make that a goal for next month. And then open my Etsy shop. I also did. I'll have that link down below. It's still work in progress, but I did go ahead and make it live. So yeah, those are my July goals. I think I did a really good job. I'm happy with what I was able to accomplish this month. And I'm thinking for August, I likely won't make as many goals because I want to try and just be present with like family and stuff since my mom's moving. I'm going to be helping her pack. And you know, just stuff's going on. So anyways, I will see you in my August goals. Okay, so I said that I'm not going to make a bunch of goals, and then I made a pretty comparable amount to how many goals I have each month, but I want to keep up with the reading. So for personal, I have read 3 books. I want to still have that family barbecue, and then I want to go on a date night. This is going to be a hectic month just with a bunch of different family things going on, so I know like my free time might be a little bit limited, so I want to make sure that I prioritize going on a date night. For health and wellness, I want to get that simple morning routine, and then I want to still keep moving my body, and then also wake up before 7 during the week. I'm hoping this is the month I'll be able to switch to 410s, which means I'll be starting work at 7. So obviously I would need to wake up before 7, but I want to wake up early enough that I'm able to kind of have a little bit of my morning, and it's not like, you know, you roll straight into work from getting up. For financial, I want to pay off Upstart loan, stick to eat out budget, save $200 for our suburban repairs, and then stick to personal budget, which just means like each month Jacob and I each have like an amount we can spend for our personal stuff, and Jacob likes to just take out his cash, so he has cash for whatever he wants. So I want to stick out to mine because I went way over budget last month. And then for work, I want to get a good review. I want to post 9 videos. I would love to reach 100 subscribers. Obviously, that's not anything that I can control besides just putting out videos and then sticking to a schedule. But I also would love to make my study schedule this month, and then I'd also like to get my first Etsy sale. So those are my August goals, and now let's switch over to the budget. Okay, so now it is time to go ahead and close out our July budget. So what I went ahead and did off screen was I input all of the remaining expenses for July, and I went ahead and categorized those. So now we're going to just kind of analyze where not going to say where I went wrong, but you'll be able to see where we spent a good amount of money. The only thing is I ended up, because I get paid bi-weekly, some months I end up getting an extra paycheck, and I never want to budget for that. Usually that is just kind of going to sit either as a buffer or go into savings, or I don't even know. But so you'll see that, you can see that here as like the other income budgeted, and then I tried not to spend any of it. But I have at the top, we can see that I budgeted and got my normal paycheck, and then I budgeted a little less for one of Jacob's paychecks because I think, so this was July, so for 4th of July he doesn't get paid holidays yet, so I knew his paycheck was going to be a little bit lower, but I was a month off. So this is what a normal paycheck looks like if he gets a full 50 hours, 10 of it being overtime. And then this is, I always like to budget $800 because I never want to bank on any overtime. And so if he doesn't get overtime, his paycheck is usually around 800-ish. And then my goal is, right now what we're doing is anything that's extra. For instance, that's why you'll see this little math over here. I budgeted 600. We actually got 944. That's a difference of 344. And then this week he got less because that was for 4th of July. So I took that out, which netted to a difference of 238 from what I budgeted versus actual. I hope this makes sense. So that $238 all went to savings for his truck specifically because we're trying to get the front end rebuilt. And normally that's just what we've been doing so far, is trying to just save any extra money from his overtime. And then the same thing here. So I budgeted an 800, and then he ended up working 6 days, so his paycheck was higher. So this $381 all went to savings. And then this last month was over. However, I left this one as a buffer, and usually this is what I do at the end of every month, is the last one I leave and wait to see where our spending has been. So you'll see here that we had about $39 left to spend once I included all of our expenses, so I wasn't able to actually save any of that because we went over in quite a few categories, which I'll show. So our mortgage, we can start here. I budgeted $24.50 and it's actually $24.87, so I was under budget there, so we spent more there. And then all of the other bills I think were pretty consistent with what I thought they were going to be. I budgeted $80 for our internet, and I actually think that that's not going to come out until this month, or not this month, until August. And then phone, car insurance, everything else was the same. Then for groceries, we overspent by $24, but I know I included some stuff in here that I shouldn't have, so that's okay. Eating out is the big elephant of the room. So I budgeted $270 and we spent $450, which just like blows my mind how we can spend $924 in groceries and then also $450 eating out. And I know that part of that is because we did buy some, like, a bunch of meat on sale this month from Costco to put in our freezer, so I know that's why our grocery bill was a little bit higher. But the eating out one really just bugs me because there's just no need for that. And I know this is where I like kind of trip myself up because I feel really guilty, and it's not the best, and we could eat at home, but we've been saying yes to more like family outings, and Jacob's family's favorite place to go to eat is Mexican food, which is really expensive. Like, if the two of us are going to go, it's at least like $60, and so once his family goes, and we want to be present with them, and we actually ended up like eating out a couple times with them during the week, which is why it was up. And then we also had friends, so I don't want to say no to like the family outings and stuff, but I just want to figure out a better way. So that's a little bit ridiculous, and we're going to work on that next month. And the same for alcohol. We hosted a party, which is why that's more. Toiletries, we both had to stock up on like razor blades and all of that stuff, so that was more expensive. Gifts, I don't even know what we got this month, honestly, to include that, but that was under budget, which is good. And then you can see here where I spent way too much money. I went way over budget, so I gave myself $50 and I spent $171, which is just, and a lot of that was craft stuff and books, so I need to be better next month. And then Jacob was thankfully under budget on his. Pets, we were close on. I'm not too upset about that because sometimes like we just end up having to buy more litter or food or something. So that was close. The house we went over on because we had to buy air filters. And our like AC thing that we have has a really weird size, so I know they're more expensive. Clothing, Jacob got boots, which is the majority of that, but then also bought a long sleeve, so we went over there. The gas for the Honda went up because gas prices are going up, and I didn't budget for that. Diesel was good. Repairs were less. Tolls were same. No doctors, which was good. Didn't budget for entertainment or work. Miscellaneous, is this? I don't even know what I counted as I don't even know what this is. I already forgot. Oh, that was the remainder of the stuff that I spent for the bathroom that I hadn't budgeted for. Okay. And then I also budgeted $250 for gas of the Suburban, and we only used 82 of that. So that is actually a pretty big difference from what I budgeted to what we actually spent, which is why some of those other categories that are so over, that's how they offset. And then we've also ended up not being really able to put much into our other savings. We were able to save what we need for the Dodge, which is good. So we're caught up there. So we weren't able to put anything into our house or our long-term savings or anything this month. But that's okay because we're going to make up for it next month. So with that being said, let's go ahead and set up my August budget. Okay, so let's start with setting up the paycheck. So I think Jacob will get paid 4 weeks, and then I'll get paid 2. So his first paycheck is going to be a little bit less because he had this Monday off. So we're going to just go ahead and budget $700. And then we'll go ahead and copy over what mine is, which will be that one, and then we'll do a couple 800s. And then, oh, that's okay, and then now we know 7,315 is what we're working with. And I'm going to go ahead and copy over our bills. Okay, so we know that'll be the same. I know our electricity's higher. I don't remember how much, so I'm just going to budget $275 to be on the safe side. These are usually the same. So I'm going to be paying this off this month, which is good. So I'm going to put that towards paying off this. So that's going to be $367.57, and then we'll make this 0. And then this is going to be, I think, like $150. And then I know trash is coming out, and I don't know how much yet that's going to be. So we're just going to budget $110 to be on the safe side. So those are the bills, and then we're going to go ahead and do our expenses. We're going to start by aiming high, and then we'll adjust as needed. So we have $2,600 left. So groceries, we've been spending around $900. Eat out, we're going to make $275. Alcohol, $50. Toiletries, I don't think we need anything, so I'm going to put it as 0. Gifts, I'm just going to put 50 because I feel like something always ends up coming up. My budget's 50. Jacob's is 160. Pets, I need to think through this one. So the dog won't need food, but he will need medicine, and then the cat will need medicine. So that'll be about 75 there. The cat will need litter. Well, the cows will probably need 1 round bill. So I'm just gonna budget $275. The house, oh shoot. So usually I always budget $50 just for the random things that come up. But I know this month we were trying to purchase blinds for our big kitchen window to help with the heat, which I think is like 100. So I'm gonna budget $150 for that, and then we'll adjust if needed. Clothing, nothing. Nobody needs anything, so we're gonna keep that there. Gas, I'm gonna do $250 for me. The diesel, we'll do 100. This is 0. I always just budget 20 for tolls just in case. No doctor, no entertainment, no work. And then I'll budget like 175 for the Suburban. And then we see here there's about 100 left, unfortunately, so I'm just gonna put that. We'll just put that towards our emergency fund. So we are technically we're technically $3.16 under, but that will come out. That'll like get fixed anyway. So that's the rough budget. I know like some of these paychecks will end up probably being higher from overtime, and those will be going to savings. And like I've said so many times, right now we're trying to put money into savings, but we're also just really trying to pay off all of our little debts. So that's the big goal right now. And then we just have a couple of extra added expenses this month, which is why we're not able to save as much. So I can't beat myself beat myself up too much on that, but we just need to be cautious of that and adjust where we can and try and save money where we can. And the big places to do that for us, I think, is eating out and groceries and just those extra things. But anyways, that is our little budget. Okay, so I want to go ahead and do like a little July book wrap up. So I have those books here. Okay, so first my mom gave me this book to read. So this is Bad Girl Reputation by Elle Kennedy. And it's just like this girl who comes home after being away from her like hometown for a bit, and she reconnects with her like old boyfriend, and he's no good for her, so she tries to keep away, but he's persistent, one of those stories. And it was pretty good. I'm pretty sure it was like a really easy read. It was a really easy read that I flew through. And then I read The Chase by Elle Kennedy. So when I went to Target, I saw this one, so I picked this up. And I think this is in a series, so it's like a 4-book series. So I have the second one that I'm gonna start because this was actually really good. I enjoyed this. So those are the 2 like romancy books. And then I read Restore Me in the Shatter Me series. This is book, I think, 4 or 5. I don't remember. Restore Me. This one was really good. I flew through these. These are like easy read books that I like to read and take a break in between, like if I read a bunch of thrillers or whatever. I'm trying to get through the series. I think there's 1 or 2 more left. I can't remember, but this was really good as well. And then the remaining 4 books I read were thrillers. So the first one is In a Dark Wood by Ruth Ware. And I only read this because my sister-in-law loves this book and she swears by it, so she lent it to me. Normally, I'm not like a huge Ruth Ware fan. I've read a couple of her books and they've just been like okay to me. They're kind of repetitive. Like the books are similar styles. And this one was definitely similar to other ones I've read, and I can't even remember off the top of my head what the other ones are, but it was just okay to me. This was the best one I've read so far from her, and I think I have one more from her on here. It's on my TBR. Yeah, I have The Lying Game by her to read still, but this one was okay. It was pretty good. I'd give it like, I don't know, 3 or 4 stars, 3.5 stars. And then I read While You Were Sleeping by Catherine Croft, which was about This is really bad. I already forgot what this was about. With thrillers, there's something about them I can never remember. They all kind of run together in my brain. So this one was about a woman who lived in a house with her husband, and her 2 children, and then her next door, she wakes up the next day in her neighbor's bed and he's dead. That kind of rhymed. She wakes up one morning in her neighbor's bed, even though she's married and has 2 kids, and her neighbor is dead, but she has no memory of what happened. Words are hard today. So that was this one. This one was really good. I'd give it 4 stars. And then If You Tell by Greg Olson, and this is based off of a true story about 3 sisters growing up facing emotional and physical abuse from their mom. This book was really hard to read, and it kind of, like, to me, the first half was really good and the second half drug on. It probably could have been like 50 to 100 pages shorter in my opinion, but it was really good. I'd give it like 3.5 stars. And then the last one is What She Knew by Gilly Macmillan. And this is about a woman who's walking with her son in the park and her son gets kidnapped. And this one was really good. So usually I can predict the endings to these, and this one I definitely could not. So I really enjoyed this one. It was definitely hard to read just because it's sad, but I want to say it was like almost 500 pages and I flew through it. So that one was good as well. So those are my books that I read in July, which I did pretty good. I think I doubled what I normally read. So that. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and change the calendar in the kitchen over. So I went ahead and updated the calendar for August. So as you can see, it's pretty bare, and I kept that intentionally. And the only thing that I know is like Jacob's working on his truck this Sunday, and then we're having like a final pool party at my mom's, and I wanted to try and keep our weekends open so I'm available to like help pack and get everything ready. And then I know my dad's out of town that week, so I went ahead and put that as well because I'm sure I'll be helping out with the animals and I don't want to forget. And then, hello kitty, as we get more, I'll know which weekends Jacob's working. So as always, the calendar usually starts out bare the first like week of the month, and then it'll slowly fill up. Okay, so another thing I'm gonna do really quickly is clean up. So usually on a new month, I like to just kind of have a fresh space. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean up and maybe start a little laundry. Okay, so excuse my appearance, I have showered and stuff, but one other thing, and usually this is always the last thing I like to do on these little reset videos, is I'm gonna plan out my monthly videos and then update my Google Calendar. So I usually update my Google Calendar. It's also linked to my work, so that's nice, but I'll update it for studying, appointments, stuff Jacob and I have, filming, editing, and everything, so that way it's all in one spot. And I find that really helpful because we have a lot going on, so getting it all in one calendar is really helpful. But then also Jacob doesn't care about like my filming and stuff like that, so that doesn't usually go on the kitchen calendar, so this one is my calendar. But let's go ahead and get to that. That's all I have today for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this August reset, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.